Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mystics Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here, checking in live from the ESA. We got Cardo Dudley Jr. and Wilson Turpe Jr. The Mystics. Their rally fell short to the Storm, 83-77. Turnovers in the first half. I'll just start and then there. Ray, you were in the building. Walk us through.
Yeah, a very slow start. Just joining on both ends of the floor, to be perfectly honest. Um, couldn't get any flow or continuity offensively. Defensively, a lot of lapses. Um, you know, missing rotations. Players being left wide open on a roll. And just a comedy of errors, man. And they came out in the second half with a lot more energy and a lot more focus. They curbed the turnover issues for the majority of the second half, but as we talk about all the time, they resurfaced at the worst possible moments. The Mystics, they had plenty of chances to either tie the game or take the lead, but in those moments they got turnovers. So yeah, it was definitely frustrating to watch, especially after they battled their way back into the game. Ariel Atkins, after a lackluster first half, she came out in the second half smoking. Um, she kind of ignited a flame that began the comeback. She after going over in the first half from three, she came out and went 5-5 in the second half. So she definitely came out the locker room with some fire and intensity. Shaquille Austin, she brought her um, usual intensity to the game. Being a presence defensively. Just a lot of the turnovers were on her shoulders tonight. Just kind of being overzealous at times. I know she's anxious to be back, but in those moments, you just gotta settle yourself. Um, but yeah, man, it is the bad part about it is after everything that went wrong, you're right there. So for those moments when the game is just extremely sloppy for them, we're not even asking them to be perfect. We're just not asking them to be that self-destructive. Because if you clean a little bit of that stuff up, you're in a much better position. It's 6 point game. They missed 6 free throws. The Storm, they got to the line 30 times, and the Mystics only got to the line 19 times, and they still managed to miss more free throws than the Storm did. We already spoke about the turnovers. Poor shot selection for a lot of possessions here. Just not valuing the basketball, man. It's those things add up over the course of the game. And then when you're playing a team that's already more talented than you are, you're just working against yourself at that point. But yeah, they got a lot to clean up, man. It, it, they definitely shouldn't be 6-22, but they are, so it is what it is. But yeah, they got to figure this out. Pregame, Mike Tebow's kind of talked about them just being in an evaluative state for the last month of the season. But yeah, they got to address some of this stuff. It's just mental lapses and not being focused and not paying attention to detail. That stuff totally within their control. So if if you come out in the game and the ball is just not falling in the basket, it's a lid on the run, that's one thing. But you can control what type of shots you take and the decisions you make on the basketball court. So yeah, man, another tough one. But here we are.
Cardo.
Yeah, man. 15 turnovers in the first half. That's just that's tough to overcome, man. You know what I'm saying? And Seattle scored 19 points off those 15 turnovers. But really, to me, they lost the game in the second quarter. That's just too deep of a hole. You turn the ball over 7 times, but you also shoot compounded, because you shoot 26% from the field. I mean, look, you can't score. You're giving them extra possessions. You know what I'm saying? To score. And then you get out. You only score 13 points in the quarter. As a professional basketball team, 13. A player can do that. And I know third quarter, Ariel Atkins scored 14 points by herself. That's how anemic that it's the little things, man. And this shouldn't be happening, especially with what's on the line. I know they kind of and basically saying, yeah, we looking forward to next year. We already preparing. So finish the season out with surprise because you're being evaluated. You see what I'm saying? And it's not just by the current team, every team you're playing. So why would they want to pick you up playing like this? You know what I'm saying? And kudos to Ariel Atkins. She like, I ain't going out like this. No, I'm not leaving with no bullets in the chamber, no bullets in the clip. Like I'm going out shooting. 14 points in third quarter, got them back in the game. 5 for 5 from the field, 4 for 4 from 3. 4 for 4. And guess what happened in the third quarter? Only 2 turnovers. And they get back in the game, outscored at 27-17. Fourth quarter, they lose it by 2. 5 turnovers. Too many turnovers on the corner. He goes right back up there. But they still had a chance. But they shot 38% in that quarter. The first half, it's just too deep of a hole. You shoot 32% in the first half and you give them 15 turnovers. And then, you know what I mean? Like, it's just too deep of a hole for any team to climb out of, especially when you're, trying to be, respectful. You're not as talented as this team. This team, especially without Gabby Williams, who will be joining them, is eyeing a possible run at a championship. And then you had a chance. So you cannot give them extra chances to beat you. You got to be on your game, especially at the crib. Now, if this was on the road, it would still be bad, but I can accept it a little bit more. But this is at home. You should be more comfortable than ever. You see what I'm saying? And they weren't. And it's just a repeat set of things that has happened throughout the season, man. And then it's just tough to you're just shaking your head at it, man. So you can kind of see the writing on the wall with the moves that were made today. You know what I'm saying? So my advice to the Mystics, man, who's remaining on the roster, perform. We all know how ruthless this league can be. You can be here today and gone tomorrow quick. So they need a ball.
Yeah, time waits for nobody in professional sports, man. At all. Like you guys said, just it's like every time they check a box in their favor, they also like somehow simultaneously check the box that undoes the box they checked. Like you guys mentioned, the turnovers in the first half, you just can't do that. Cardell, you mentioned specifically in the second quarter, you can have a bad half of turnover. You can't also compound that. Like you can't have an and if you're already struggling with something, you can't have an and. Then on the other side, you have the third quarter. Things are looking better. You're good. You're showing that you can get back in the game if you do check the correct boxes. But Ray, as you mentioned late in the game, box comes unchecked, key possessions. Free throws. We talked all year about the room for error that they don't have, and far too many times they put themselves in a position where they kind of take that away from themselves. The opponent doesn't even do it. They kind of get in their own way of that, and that's kind of been something that's routinely happened this year. That said, you guys both cited some of the moves today, which again, Ray, shout out to you for mentioning what GM Tebow said about it being an evaluating stage. Yeah, like hey man, it's gonna be interesting. Like they also added extra draft capital today. So we'll see how things shake out. It behooves everybody involved to hoop, as you said, Cardo. Handle your business down the stretch, whether it's here somewhere else afterwards. But for the rest of this season, handle your business down the stretch. Who'd you guys have today in terms of player of the game?
Ariel Atkins. Her barrage in the third quarter got him back in the game.
Right.
Yeah, this was definitely one of those situations where you can go that direction. I feel like Ariel had another game like that earlier this year. When she had her career high. So definitely gotta give her love. For Seattle side, the way NECA started the game, it looked like it was about to be a repeat of what Fees did on over the weekend. But yeah, she just kind of set the tone and it went from there.
He froze.
Yeah, I think.
All right, You said in the neck of Wilmington?
Yeah.
Okay. And I definitely agree with that. And I was just saying on the Mystic side. So yeah, he right. You know, she set the tone.
Yeah. They had a 4-day 5 finishing double figures. And again, Cardell, to your point, we know what they have in the tuck essentially with the announcement today, which is absurd. So, and this is not a knock on young Jordan Worston, who's trying to find her way in the league, but again, it's not that hard to imagine. You take her out that starting group, you plug in Gabby. That's absurd.
Problems.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is
problems.
That is absurd.
It's
legitimately absurd. All right, X Factor.
I'm about to go with Ezzy, man. 13 points, 14 rebounds. Ain't nothing to sneeze at, bro. That's tough. 13 points and 14 rebounds, man. 3 offensive. You know, that was tough. You know what I'm saying? She kept the Mystics at bay. You know, her rebounders was crucial. I think, yeah, she's the only one in the game that had double-figure rebounds. I think she's definitely the X Factor.
Right. We were just mentioning the X Factor. Cardell had Ezzy. Who'd you have?
Yeah, I totally agree. You know, her rebound, as Cardell pointed out. Also, just her being a deterrent at the rim. She changed a lot down there. And her, you know, negating Shakira, you know, which is tough to do because Shakira's length and athleticism as he matched this. And if she wasn't able to do that, Shakira has an even bigger impact on this game than she did. So yeah, I definitely agree with Ezzy.
And real quick, not to throw salt, Shakira had a good game. She had 8 turnovers too. That's Ezzy. Think about it. You cut that in half. She could score half of those, you know, a couple of those buckets, Mystics win. So that's the defensive thing too, man. So she had a hell of an impact defensively.
Like, let's honestly, like, again, to piggyback off what you guys are talking about, that's the difference between Shakira being +1 or +15 in this game. Like, honestly, like, she had a huge impact, but as he defensively, it was 8 turnovers to none.
And the difference between 24 and 9 for Shakira tonight or 30 plus, and like she got 14 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a career game for her. Just the little details, man.
And that's what it's been all season. Just the little things add up, man. Like if fans take nothing away from the season, those little things add up. You have to take care of those little things and put yourself in the best position. Each and every time out. You just have to. Good teams routinely take care of the little things. But shout out to Seattle for handling business tonight. Washington, day of rest, whatnot, possibly too. And then they're hosting the Sparks Friday night. So we'll see you guys after that game.